says, clear the tarmac, it's takeoff time.
Media Vintage Sports Network presents Play-by-Play Podcast with Jordan Hughes.
Alrighty, welcome in NRL Picks and Preview, part of the Play-by-Play Podcast. Back with you once again as round one continues. Jordan Hughes with you once again.
Dun, 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 dun. Me, King!
Hi, mate.
Geordie, my man.
You well?
It's great to see you're surviving the cyclone.
Yeah, how are you travelling out there?
Yeah, it's a bit cold and windy out there, so if you guys could send me some money, you know, we could work something. Maybe I can buy a jumper. I'll be sweet.
Okay, yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Other than that, it's good. How you going over here?
Good, mate. Little set change here. Got the new logo, got the stools going on. So
I love it. These stools
Yeah,
from Fiji. I'm back in Fiji. Bula!
there you go. We'll switch it up. So we'll see how it
Yeah,
goes
I love it.
for the boys. So let's get into it, mate. Before we do that, you may have seen, if you were following along on our socials, posted our top 8 predictions last week, just in clips, and a few of them went pretty viral, and you may be the most hated man on the internet, mate.
Thank you. Hey, I'm used to it, man. Come hate me now, but at the end of the year, I'll be the one reposting that, tagging you, and spanking your booties.
It's funny, though. Like, a lot of people have their opinions in March. We haven't seen a game yet.
I know. Look, it's just a guess. It's just a guess. We're
Yeah.
doing our best to. We haven't even seen a single game. Round one hasn't even happened. So
But either way, it's good, though. More comments, more engagement, we'll take it.
jump on board. Fry us. I'll fry you.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's crazy though.
It was very funny. It
Leave
did,
us alone, please.
did some good numbers.
First the cyclone, now this.
Tough week.
I'll have to have a look at the TikTok.
It's very funny.
Delete my page.
All right, let's get into Las Vegas recap quickly, Riggs. Raiders 30, the Wires 8, Panthers 28-22 on the NRL front. We went 1 for 1.
One for one here. We started. Everyone keep tally of this. Geordie likes to change the
No, I
scores
don't,
somehow.
mate. Never do that.
But yeah, start off with the Raiders and the Wires. Look,
Mate, what's going on with the Wires?
every
though?
year I said the Wires. I had my hopes up for the Wires, and they hit me with a Wartings.
Yeah, they just couldn't fire a shot. They were terrible.
Yeah, they just did the usual War things, but the Raiders turned it around for me.
Yeah.
They were exciting, they were energized, and they just come through 30-8.
Dominant. So it's good to see the Raiders, and obviously the Panthers looking for 5 in a row this year, which is unbelievable. 28-22 of the Sharkies. The Sharks had their moments, but in the
Yeah,
end, Panthers
that
did
was unreal. That was pretty much as we predicted. Head to head, the top 2 teams, or top 4 teams. Penrith are just clinical. They just do the right thing, so they ended up winning that game. Sharks competed well.
Yeah,
I
I
really like Aiden Fanua there as well.
Yeah, I reckon they'll be thereabouts when it matters at the end of the year. So
Top 4, I put them as.
yeah, that should be good. I left them out altogether at mine. I got
Did ya?
Yeah. All right, and then obviously the women's game, it was the Gila. We know how good they are, and they showed it 90 points to 4.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of controversy, a lot of comments about this game. Post this, what did you make of it?
Oh, I didn't see that, but I did know that they destroyed that margin 29-0. It ended up being 96 to
90 to 4 it was.
90 to 4.
Yeah.
Tamika Upton, 5 tries, 6 tries.
Yeah.
Jess Surges off the bench and scored 3, maybe
3, yeah.
4.
Yeah.
Exactly as we predicted as well. That left edge was dominant off Aitken, so those girls were
I
fantastic.
don't think England will be invited back next year. I think.
Well, the thing about England is they are like beating France and Wales or whoever they're versing to nil, like 44-0, 60-0, and they come up against Oz, and look what happens.
Yeah, I think we need to change the matchup next year, whether it's going to be an NRLW game or an Origin or you get New Zealand involved.
Yeah, look, let's just leave those other countries out because Aussie are too good.
Too good. All right, let's get into it. NRL round 1, it continues. It starts tonight. The Roosters taking on the Broncos Thursday night footy. $2.90 the Chooks, $1.42 the Broncos. The line is 7.5. All the big dogs are in for the Broncos. They've got a Hunt at 6, Reynolds at 7, obviously, up against Smith and Towns in the halves for the Roosters.
How good is a whole new setup for the Roosters? You've got 2 centres, your guy from the rugby union,
Yeah,
his
Mark
name,
Nawang-Nitawasi.
and Robert Toya in the centres. So
Yeah.
they're pretty much debutants or just rookie players.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm keen to see in the 2 halves, Chad Townsend and Sandon Smith
Yeah.
for the Roosters. And if I'm looking on the other side, Hunt and Reynolds leading the way, opening it up for Walshy. I'm so keen on that.
Should be good. So a couple of stats for you. The Broncos' last 4 round 1 games have got under the total points. The Roosters have won the last 6 of 7 home games, and Broncos have failed to cover their last 12 of 14. And the Roosters have scored the first try in the last 6 games as well. So everyone's saying the Broncos are going to do a job here. I guess a weakened Roosters. How do you see it?
Well, for me, I'm not looking at those stats actually mess up a lot of what I'm thinking.
They always do. They always
They
do.
do. Look, I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of points in this game. Maybe 20 to 30 for both teams. I'm not going to rule the Roosters out. They still have a good team. They have good second rowers, Teddy, Tupou. And I just think they do need to find their groove and just gel first. They've got 2 new halves. But yeah, I'm leaning at the Broncos. I think Broncos are going to win, a 1-12 for me.
Yeah.
I'm looking, try scorers for the Bronx for me would be somewhere along the lines of Walsh, Arthurs, or Cobbo out wide. and maybe even Tupou for the Roosters.
I like it. So the Chooks, the stats do point towards them. I reckon everyone's doubting them. I reckon they will sort of front up tonight. The Broncos should have too much class, 1-12. I agree. But that 7.5 number, I wouldn't mind taking the Chooks plus the points.
Nice.
The Broncos to win for me. Dean Mariner scored in his last 10 interstate games. I like him for a try
He's
as well.
so good for the money too. He scores pretty much every game. So
He's very sharp. So that
Good
gets
odds.
started tonight, Thursday night footy. Then we go to tomorrow night. The Tigers taking on the Knights. $2.15. The Tigers $1.72. The men from Newcastle, the line is 2.5. The Knights last 6 versus the Tigers. They have all been victorious for the Knights. They also covered the last 6 of 7. So they have a great record against the Tigers. But this is a new year for the Tigers.
it is a new year. The thing that gets me looking at the Tigers lineup, it kind of seems like a Queensland Cup or New South Wales Cup lineup. They're still missing Happy Coruscant and Buller at fullback, so they've got a lot of young players and a lot of rookies and a lot of starters for them. Still Luai's there, but I look on the other side and see the Knights. They've got that same sort of team they had last year, but they are firing. Fletcher Sharp is my man in number 6. I even like Crossland starting at 9. And also, the Knights have been able to play 3 players. Frizzell in lock, Paul into the back row, and Dylan Lucas in the other back row. I really rate Dylan Lucas.
So where do you lean here?
Well, I've got the Knights for a dub here for me. I just think that they're going to open it up with having Fletcher Sharp. He's like another Ponga. I think that opens it up for Ponga to get a try, and maybe even Marju for some points as well. Depending on the weather, it's supposed to be a bit rainy. If it's a dry track, I think the Knights will get 13 plus, but it's just depending on the weather.
Lovely. So Bradman Best has scored his last 5 versus teams from New South Wales. So I do like him for a try. I reckon the experience of the Knights is going to be too much. Ponga, Gay Guy, obviously Cogger's at 7 as well. Luai is going to be, a tough task, but I reckon he'll go all right. But I reckon the Knights should get this one done. I'll take the Knights to win. Knights minus the 2.5, and Bradman Best for a try as well.
Knights 2.5.
The
line.
Currently what it was yesterday.
Wow, that's gun.
Yeah, so.
I love that. I'll go that.
Because people don't know what the Tigers are going to do. Bit of unknown. So
It is like, and they're playing at Tigers as well, so that's
Correct.
a bit tricky.
So we go now to the Dolphins versus the Rabbitohs, which has been relocated because of the cyclone. $1.73, the Dolphins, $2.10, the Bunnies, are what it was. The line's 2.5. Out to Parramatta now at Combank Stadium, this one.
Oh, beautiful. That sounds a lot better anyway. What I'm not looking forward to is this game. This is probably my worst game of the week. I don't have much. I'm not a big fan of the Rabbitohs lineup. There's a lot of people out of positions. And they're all leaning on Cody Walker, Jack Whiten and Campbell Graham. But other than that, I think they've lost a lot of class with Cam Murray being injured and Latrell. So they're going to struggle for me. On the other side with Dolphins, there's not much leadership there as well because they're a fairly new team. They're still trying to find their groove, and now they've got Sullivan and Katoa in the halves.
And I think they've had 5 Dolphins players pull out this weekend.
Yeah, so that's tricky.
Nicarima says this is a bit of a mess.
Yeah, Nicarima, Nichols, or whatever's going on. So I'm not looking forward to this game, but I do think that Jai Gray is going to be good for a try. If it's wet weather, Jai Gray is so hard to tackle in dry weather.
Fullback for the Bunnies.
Fullback for the Bunnies, and he's just so nippy. So I'm looking for Jai Gray to get a try. I think this is going to be a very close game. I went with Rabbits 1-12.
Lovely, yeah. Just of course the relocation, bit of a mess. I reckon the Bunnies will get it done. I can be close. So I'll take the Rabbitohs plus the points. I like Jai Gray for a try, and I'll go Herbie for a try on the other side.
Beautiful. He does do it anyway. What is the line there?
It was 2.5. It might have moved.
Oh, that's fair play.
Since the relocation.
Nice. So we're backing each other this week.
Fine. It's good, mate, isn't it?
About time.
It's good.
It's taken us 4 years.
I can't, mate. The Dragons take on the Bulldogs next up in the local derby. $2.35. The Bulldogs $1.60. The line's 4.5. Obviously Gutho in the one jersey.
King Gutho is back. I really like Gutho in the trials. I'm not a big fan of the halves. I think there's a lot of pressure on Gutho as the playmaker there at fullback because I don't think his halves offer too much with Ilias and Flanagan. So I think heavy weight on his shoulders. And you've got Valentine Holmes there.
Yeah, first crack.
And a lot of young players as well. And if I look on the Dogs have that same sort of team as last year that made the top 8. They're gunning. They've got the same team, same
Burton,
lineup. Burton, Sexton, Crichton. I'm a fan of them at the moment just because they're very gritty, very hard-playing football style team. So I like the Doggies.
Lovely. So the Dogs' last 8 night games versus the Dragons have been won. They've also covered the last 4 away games. I do think it's 1-12 either way.
Yeah, very fair.
I like Valentine Holmes. I like Holmes for a try. I'm going to go the Dragons for the upset. I like the Dragons.
Oh, you do like the Dragons.
Yeah, Dragons plus the 4.5, and I'll take them for the win as well.
Lovely. I'm going to go for that winger outside of Valentine Holmes. It's either, I think it's going to be Matt Fagai outside of Holmes, but whoever's outside of Holmes, I think they're going to go in for a meat pie.
Yeah, lovely. Let's go now to the Manly Seagulls taking on North Queensland Cowboys. $1.46 Manly, $2.75 the Cowboys. The line's 6.5. Brooks versus Dearden, Turbo versus Drinkwater.
Oh,
It's good.
Oh, look at the mic going off. This is my team right now. This is my game of the week.
Okay.
Tommy Turbo back in action. I'm loving Manly. Right now, those forwards land the forward pack. You've got Tokiyoho. He's back from overseas, and he's in the starting lineup. They have such a big forward pack. Even Jazz Savega at hooker. And then their backs are just phenomenal. You've got Tommy Turbo, Saab, Hopewadi, Cooler, and Garrick. I just think there's try-scoring options everywhere for Manly. And with the Cowboys, I'm very excited for the Cowboys and to see them play. They've got a guy on debut, Duffy. He's
Yep.
linking up with Chad. He's linking up with
Thomas Duffy's at 7.
Yeah, and he's with Dearden. And I love the way that the Cowboys play with the hooker Robson and also Cotter that play that hard style footy. They just never give up. They're always showing up.
Yep.
So they're in your face. So I think that the Manly are going to get a dub here, but if they switch off, Cowboys will bring it home.
Yeah, no one's expecting the Cowboys to do anything this year, so I reckon they might. This is a danger game, I think, for Manly first up.
Oh, for sure.
So the Cowboys have won the last 4 or 5 as an underdog. Manly's last 5 have gone over the total points, and Manly has failed to cover 9 of their last 11. So
What was the line there?
6.5. So I like the Cowboys plus the points.
Yeah.
And I do think Manly just because the class of Turbo might be too much, but I do think it's definitely 1 to 12.
Lovely. I like that. I'm going to be back in Tommy Turbo, Saab, and Hopewadi all for tries in this game. I
Plenty of
love
points.
Yeah, I just love what Tommy gets to play off.
Yeah, I like
With
it.
that pack of Manly and Tommy out the back, he's just got so many options. So I think he's scoring and there's 2 wingers.
Perfect. I'll take the over as well. I reckon plenty of points based on what the King is dishing up. Let's go to our final game of round 1. It's Melbourne Storm at home, $1.12 against the Eels, $6.50. The line is 16.5. And how's this for a stat? The Storm have won their last 22 round 1 games.
Yes, please make
Crazy.
it 23.
You
Let's
confident?
go. My notes,
Yep.
smooth like butter. That's what I have for Melbourne Storm. I just think they're so smooth. You got Husey there, Pappenhausen.
They're all back.
They're all back. They're dialed in, and they even have Stefan Utokameka, or whatever his name is, and he's up in the front pack, and he just bolsters them, so they're even stronger. And with the Eels, I'm actually excited to see their fullback, Iongi.
Yep.
He's at fullback. In the trials, he was gunning.
Yep.
Nice
But
try assist.
no Moses this week, though, which is obviously the big loss.
That's kind of good too. Like no Moses, no Gutho, so the attitude kind of changes for the Eels, and
Okay.
Eels don't need that kind of attitude. So it's good to see them come out fresh. You got Lomax there. I want to see who's outside of Lomax. It's Tago, and I think if he's outside of Lomax, Tago.
He's their main threat, Lomax, I think.
Yeah, and if he's playing that left edge, that's the way teams run their shape. If you don't know footy, they run right to left. It's a better passing hand. So if Lomax is there, look for Tago. But yeah, I'm so keen on the Storm.
All right. That 16.5 number, where would you lean on that?
Oh,
It's a lot of points, isn't it?
I'm gonna look. I'll take the minus 16 for Storm.
Dish it up.
Yeah, just because the Eels are a kind of new team. They're not new, but like new halves, new fullback.
It's been a big offseason.
It's just Dylan Brown. Dylan Brown's a damn competitor. He's good too, but he's doing it alone.
Okay, so the Storm last 8 day games have gone over the total points. I expect a lot of tries today, as you mentioned. Pat, Munster, Hughes, Grant, all in. The big dogs ready to shine.
You love a Munster try, eh?
I do. So I might go Cam Money Munster to get a try.
That's
and I'll
cool.
go the Storm to win pretty comfortably here. Yeah, I had to lean on that line. I'll probably go the Storm to cover that.
Yeah, we're on. I've got Warbrick, Pappenhausen, and Coates all for a try for me.
There we go.
Loving that one.
And we're round 1 in the books.
That's-
So recapping, you're on the Broncos, Knights, Rabbitohs, Bulldogs, Manly, Storm.
Yes,
There
sir.
we go. And I'm going to go Bronx, Knights, Rabbitohs, Dragons, Manly, Storm to finish off round 1.
One different. I love that. I've got my best bets for you.
Hit me. What do you got?
Here's my best bets that I'm throwing into a multi.
Yep.
Back them if you want to back me. Who doesn't back the king? If you're not backing the king, you're not
This is
backing
a good
the
new
king.
segment. I like this.
So this is
It's
it.
good.
Broncos to win, Knights to win, Marju to score, Dogs will win, Tommy Turbo, Hopewadi to score,
Oof.
and Storm with the win. That's a 7-leg multi. That's paying $14. You put $500 on that, you're winning $8,000. Let's win $8,000 this week.
If only it was that easy, eh? How good. Lovely. So there we go. NRL round 1 in the books. It's been a big week. Stay safe, mate, out there. All right.
this might be the last interview we've done.
It could be it.
I'm in a cyclone! Johnny! You'll be like, Riggs, what's your pick of Johnny? The Warriors! They got beat by 50!
They're pretty close.
What do you reckon?
That was good.
Yeah, so you hit me up. Maybe next week. We should be back next week. Fingers crossed. God forbid we all make it home safe.
Lovely. Well, enjoy your NRL round 1. Stay safe if you're in Queensland. Riggs, throw us out.
This is us. I'm Media Vintage. No, we're Media Vintage. This is Geordie Hughes. I'm the king. We out.
See you next week.